If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't hit the notification button, please hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when a video drops on this channel. Hit the like button if you agree or appreciate the content that's on my channel. That will help to make my channel and other channels in the LDBC, the Lions Den basketball community, that much stronger. Now, all of you motherfuckers were talking all this shit about how great James Harden is, and I'm a James Harden hater, even though I know it's fewer and fewer people now. I think I've even converted a couple of Rockets fans to finally admit that this guy is not what the media hype wants him to be. Notice how quiet the motherfucking media is right now about this fucking guy. If it wasn't for Russell Westbrook, the Rockets would be 0-2 right now. Yes, it's a young season, but I want people to start giving Russell more praise and this guy a little bit less. The game's greatest scorer, the greatest scorer in the history of the NBA, the greatest scorer in the history of the NBA, don't start the motherfucking season shooting 24% from the fucking floor and less than 10% from three. You don't get to make fucking commercials where you give the okay to be called the greatest scorer ever. You don't get to wear Wilt Chamberlain's number 13 and stink it up like you've been stinking it up. And the media don't say a motherfucking thing. But if Russell Westbrook's doing it, oh yeah, Russell Westbrook, he just can't get it done. I mean, he's Russell Westbrook. He can't make a shot out there. He can't do. Anytime when Russell Westbrook is out shooting you throughout the first two games of the season, Houston, we have a problem. If it wasn't for Russell Westbrook right now, Houston would have lost both of these games badly. I don't know what's up with James Harden. 2 of 13 shooting, 1 of 8 in the first game of the season against the Milwaukee Bucks. A game where James Harden for the entire offseason was whining and bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning about why he didn't get the MVP. Oh, I had 32 straight 30-point games, at least 30 points. Oh, I had all these 50-point triple-doubles. I had a 60-point triple-double. All these great individual scoring games, 2 60-point games. All these great scoring numbers. 36 points per game. I should have won the MVP. Why did Giannis win it? You know what? The first 2 games of the season showing why Giannis won the MVP and why you will always be just a regular season one trick pony or two trick pony gimmick. When the games matter, you don't show up. First game of the season, MVP matchup, what do? You fucking disappear. You disappear like LeBron James' hairline did over the past 10 years. Okay? 2 of 13 shooting, 1 of 8 from 3-point range. And what do in tonight's game? You tried to have a big game. Oh, you tried. But you missed 21 out of 29 shots, okay? And you only shot 2 of 18 from 3-point range. You fucking choked. 10% from 3-point range, and this guy is the greatest scorer the game has ever seen. He's Michael fucking Adams. He's a bigger version of Michael Adams with better handles. And the guy gets to travel every fucking. That's what he is. He's Michael Adams with the ability to get to the foul line like an Adrian Dantley. That's all he is. If you look up Michael Adams, look at the shooting percentages. He's Michael Adams. He's not even Gilbert Arenas. He's Michael fucking Adams. Overrated as a motherfucker. And I know there's gonna be some people that's gonna somehow spin it, because they hate Russell Westbrook so fucking much. Some of these people in the media, they hate Russell Westbrook. There's some people out there that hate his fucking guts. They'll say shit like, no, see what it is Russell's messing up Harden's rhythm. You know, Russell, being holding the ball all the time, he messing up Harden's rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It's Russell. Man, fuck you. First of all, you know what I'm saying? James Harden can create his own shot, okay? We all know he can create his own goddamn shot. It don't matter what Russell Westbrook does to fucking basketball, okay? It doesn't fucking matter. James Harden should be able to create his own fucking shot and not shoot 24% from the fucking field and 10% from three. Maybe I'm wrong about Steph Curry coming out leading the NBA in scoring, but the way James Harden is shooting, it damn sure like it's not going to be him. I've never bought into this James Harden shit, man. I never bought into the hype, man. Never, never. I've seen this guy choke way too fucking much. I've seen this guy choke against the San Antonio Spurs a couple of years ago. I mean, he choked so badly in that series, I was beginning to question whether he threw the series on purpose. But no, he's just a fucking choke artist. Then he choked in game 7. Okay, game 7, a game that the Rockets should have won. A game that James Harden, the so-called greatest scorer ever, should have led his team to a victory against the Golden State Warriors. But he choked. Choked. Just like I'm choking now making this goddamn video yelling at this motherfucker. He choked. And then last year, in a game at home that the Rockets should have won, they choked against a team that didn't have Kevin Durant. Sorry, man. Choked, man. Then people forget even in 2012 finals, when he was with the Thunder, he choked. He didn't play well at all in that series. When a team needs this dude, he's nowhere to be found. But when he's playing against, cellar dwellers like the Knicks or, defensively porous teams, he's putting up 40, 50, 60 points. But when he goes up against the marquee teams, when he goes up against the upper echelon teams, we see what he's really all about. And the thing about it, and Bruce Bliss made this point in his podcast, it's not even that his teams lose these games. It's that these are games that any other superstar, like an all-time great, would have sealed the deal easily. Sealed the deal easily. See, this guy cannot impose his will offensively, and we damn sure know he can't impose his will defensively, like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying, like a prime Larry Bird, like a Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying, even though Wilt did to a lesser extent, because he was oftentimes not in a position where his team was that dominant. But these guys imposed their will. They slit teams' throats. You know what I'm saying? They cut the team. See, the thing about it wasn't that they just beat these teams. They usually humiliated these teams. They took the psyche of this team out, so they no longer were even competition. Remember, people got to remember, the Cleveland Cavaliers were supposed to be a team of the 90s. They were the team of the future. Jordan cut all that out. Nah. You guys are betting on the wrong horse. How many times did Jordan kill the Knicks? Cut their heart out. Kobe with the Kings. Kobe with whoever he faced. You know what I'm saying? He was a killer. This dude, nah, that's just a butter knife in his hand. He's not a killer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fooled by that bullshit, man. I already know what's gonna happen this year. This Rockets team probably gonna win like 51, 52 games. Okay. That might be good enough for like a third seed, this year. And they'll make it out of the first round. But I think in the second round, what I'm saying, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose in the second round to some team. I don't know if it's gonna be the Clippers or the Lakers, but one of those teams is gonna knock this team off, and people are gonna be crying about why did James Harden lose again, why he didn't get it done in a pivotal sixth game of a series or something. I just know that I can see this shit happening already in May. It's gonna be May 2020. And Russell Westbrook, don't get me wrong, Russell might trick off too and not play well. But I'm telling you, it's going to be this dude right here that everybody's going to be like, oh, well, it's going to be under the radar. Well, James Harden didn't have a great game. And you know what I'm saying? People going to give him another pass. Somehow all the blame going to be on Russell Westbrook, even though it's going to be James Harden that's going to have 8 turnovers. He's going to shoot 2 of 15 from 3-point range. He's going to shoot 7 for 26 from the floor. Okay, and people gonna wonder, well, is it Russell? He's throwing him off. I think Russell's just throwing off his rhythm. Russell is such a ball dominant guy that he just affects the guys around him. Oh, we're not going to put any blame on James Harden because we don't want to do that because he's the guy that we need to push out there. He has all of these endorsements and he's a heavily marketed athlete. So we're not going to criticize him the way we're going to criticize Russell. That's the narrative we got for Russell. So we're going to continue that narrative because that's all we do is create narratives to fool impressionable fans and create a false truth for them. It's the new Donald Trump world reality we're in. We're not going to let facts get in the way of our opinions. So if you want to keep believing that this guy's the greatest scorer ever, what I'm saying, a better scorer than Wilt and Kobe and Michael and Elgin Baylor and Rick Barry and Bird, Jerry West. Uh, if you want to believe that, Kevin Durant, shit, even LeBron, even though LeBron's not a great overall shooter, I mean, the guy still, for his career is averaging over 27 points per game. So you want to believe that, you know, fine, believe it. Believe it. If it wasn't for free throws, this guy would have a lot of 5, 6, 7 point games. Okay? This guy sometimes live off the foul line. And he's not even Adrian Dantley. You know what I'm saying? I sometimes compare him to Adrian Dantley because Adrian Dantley was a great player, got into the Hall of Fame recently. But Adrian Dantley was known as a guy that could stymie certain offenses because he was such a heavy ISO guy. And he only seemed to care about his numbers, his stats. Okay, he averaged 24 points per game for his career, won a couple of scoring titles with the Utah Jazz, averaging over 30 points per game both seasons. But the best thing the Detroit Pistons ever did was trade him for Mark Aguirre. During the 88-89 season, before they made a trade, the Pistons were 28-15, I believe they were, and no, 26-15. And after the trade, they went 37-4. And although historically people would rank Dantley ahead of Mark Aguirre, Aguirre was a better fit for that team. You know what I'm saying? Not as heavily ball dominant as Adrian Dantley. And, but still, even Adrian Dantley was efficient. He shot 54% from the floor. In his prime, he shot between 56 and 58% from the floor. This guy, For his career is 44%. I don't even know if he's going to crack 44% this season if this is the way things are going to go for him. But he's the greatest scorer of all time. Fuck out of here.